All right, evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming through on this very prestigious evening. I'm going to tell you why in a moment, but we're very happy to have you here. For all my wealth engineers, those of you who are tuned in around the country this evening, and those of you sitting in the room, you will have noticed that we have 84 days left in our spring vision here at DuePoint. 84 days to the 30th of November. If you guys are not sure what spring vision at DuePoint is, it's on video. You know, it's in our app and it's on our YouTube channel. Go and watch what our spring vision is for the next week. It was 90 days. There's only 84 days left. So I just want to encourage you to get out there and put maximum effort in. Those days are ticking down faster than you know, don't you think? 84 days, like 100 days to Christmas now. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. So keep an eye on that. Every day we're going to keep you up to date, but we want to see you guys fired up. So why is this evening prestigious, ladies and gentlemen? Well, because it's Thematic Thursday. Now, Thematic Thursday is a presentation we do only once every 3 months here at DuePoint. You've picked a good night to come on. Hope you bought a lottery ticket. Your luck is with you this evening. And what we do during Thematic Thursday is something we don't do in any of our other presentations. We take a look at all the reasons why around DuePoint, which is what you're here to discuss this evening. We look at every question that we asked and we answer ourselves why to every aspect of the DuePoint system and the business that's here this evening. My intention at the end of the day is for you to have completely changed the way you look at our business and understand better how we got to the conclusions that we did and why we do the other things that we do between every other presentation and the next Thematic Thursday. That's what I'm hoping for. Hopefully at the end of this evening you'll feel far more informed and a bit more excited about what we're doing here at DuePoint. So, who is DuePoint? DuePoint is a division of Constantia Insurance Company Limited, which is a listed and licensed life insurance company. Started in 1952, we're nearly 65 years old, 7 decades as I like to say. This is not a startup this evening that you are sitting in, but a company that's been in the financial services space for the last 7 decades. Okay, so that's the first important step that you have to, and hurdle that you may have to overcome this evening, is understanding that this is not new. Nothing that we do is new here at DuePoint. We have just innovated it for the 21st century. We are, of course, an authorized and registered financial services provider. There is our FSP number. Take some time. Not only, if you're here, look at our licenses on the wall, but take some time and look at what is available online. Everything about DuePoint is available online. The entire disclosure, we call it sunshine businesses. Everything is open and available in the public domain. You can look up every aspect of us. And we want you to. We want you to have that sense of comfort about us. Now, I'm quite excited about this evening because there are many very exciting things happening at DuePoint at the moment. So before I get into the details, let me tell you that even in the last week, we have started to notice that people are starting to pay attention to DuePoint around the country. And they are asking questions that are very similar to the questions I'm going to ask this evening as we start to create momentum, as we start to create some excitement, and as we start to have impact in South Africa, which is one of our objectives here this evening. So I'm going to run through what I spoke to journalists, potential partners, regulators, all sorts of people in the last couple of weeks about building the excitement about DuePoint in South Africa at the moment. So let's get into it. DuePoint, there's the team. That's what we put together. It's interesting. You'll see that it doesn't really reflect transformation in South Africa now, doesn't it? Okay. It just looks very pale, doesn't it? Very pale and very typical financial services. Now, this was one of the things that we had to address. It was one of the very reasons why we founded DuePoint. Those of you who know the financial services space know that it is one of the most regulated industries in the world. Not in the country. It is by far the most regulated industry in the country, but in the world. We have, as a business, right here, right now, 150 pieces of regulation that govern our business. 150. So if any of you went, hey, I'd like to start my own financial services business, good luck. Good luck. And then, of course, the regulation that is in place says that, well, I was looking at it today. We were at some phase update training. Okay, if any of you have heard of phase, the Financial Advisory and Intermediary Services Act, I always like testing people on that. I'm accredited for phase. What does phase mean? I don't know, but you're accredited for it. Okay, so the Financial Advisory and Intermediary Services Act says that if you wish to be involved in the financial services space, you need to have years of experience in the industry. You need to have passed 2 regulatory exams. You need to have NQF level 5 education and above on a specific list that has been put together by the FSP. And you need to fit into the fit and proper requirements of the Financial Services Board. Do you see why this is such a pale picture? How many of us, realistically, in South Africa, could hope to stand up to that list of credits? Well, we know very few. And that is one of the fundamental reasons why we have built DuePoint in the way that we have. As I explain it to you tonight, you will realize that we have taken those barriers and pushed them down to let South Africans in. Now, of course, you're not going to be able to do everything that people in the financial services industry can do. But what we hope to do for you is give you an opportunity through your activity with us here at DuePoint to window shop onto the financial services industry. We want you to take a look at how this thing actually works. We want you to look through the glass at it. Test yourself at it. See if you've got aptitude for this industry. And our hope is one day that you will be able to enter it with years of experience, education, fit and proper, ready to become part of this industry. That is what we are doing proactively here. So everything that I say from this point forward, you will see is hinged on that point, so that when I put this picture up in a few years' time, it can show how we've moved South Africans into the financial services market. Nonetheless, this is me. I'm Brendan Bentfield, definitely the best presenter here and the best looking. I'm the founder of the division and the senior executive here. I've been in the industry for 20 years. All right, we tick that box. I'm a chartered accountant, NQF level 5, tick. I've written both regulatory exams, tick. Okay, do I fit into the fit and proper requirements? They felt I did. All right, so there I am in there. Okay, then we've got Tim. Tim's in the banking industry, was in the banking industry, spent nearly 15 years at the First Rand Group. Okay, so he was chartered accountant, tick. Wrote both regulatory exams, tick. Years of experience in the financial, tick, okay, and they accepted him. All right. Then we've got Stacey, chartered accountant as well, comes out of Deloitte. She's our auditing specialist, worked with him overseas and here. This is Jane. Jane is our direct selling expert. She comes from the UK, but spent the last 10 years here in South Africa, understanding both industries, both markets, and able to bring that to the team. And then we got Rob. Rob's our design guy. Okay, he spent 20 years running his own digital design firm focused on the branding and advertising and marketing of financial services industries. Okay, so we got all the skills. Great. All right, and we want to transform without a question. But the most important fact about DuePoint and about our team is that we're right here. This is not some kind of overseas, here today, gone tomorrow, take your money kind of business. This is a homegrown South African business. Everybody that you need in this business resides in these 4 walls, and you can find us here from Monday to Saturday every single week. So one of the ladies sitting in the audience this evening, she joined DuePoint a year and a bit ago. She's only about this big, which just makes her extra scary. And she came up to me and said, Brendan, the only reason I joined this business was because when it goes wrong, I know where you are. Now, that cannot be said for most businesses in South Africa today. Especially all the guys watching in KZN, you know, China's on the shores of Durban every morning with something new and then gone in the afternoon, okay? This is a 65-year-old insurance company. We're not going to be gone in 5 minutes. We are here, and you know where to find us. That's the most important fact of the team here at DuePoint. So what is it that we do? Well, we sat down and we said we have a problem. We have a problem. Of course, we as an insurance company want to be able to distribute our products. We want to be able to sell them. We want greater market share, naturally. That's the fundamental of our business. But we said that we have a problem. We have a problem in South Africa that nobody seems to be able to fix. And that is that we have a completely failing economy. Now, people think that we kind of like make this stuff up for marketing. If the South African economy continues to fail, at some point the 65-year-old insurance company is going to fail too, is it not? If the economy continues to shrink at 4 to 5% per annum as it's doing right now, at some point, we too will be on the list of businesses that can no longer trade. So we said, how do we become part of the solution to repairing and fixing our economy? Now, we could have started a new business that sold more products via a call center. And we could have cold called you until you were blue in the face. You know that list of block numbers on your phone? You'd increase it by like 100, because we would just call you about things that you weren't aware of, you didn't know you needed, and maybe you didn't want. We could have done that. We could have opened another one of those. We could have set up a new brokerage. and put people through the rigmarole of getting them through the regulatory requirements to set up some brokers and get maybe a handful, maybe 60, maybe 70 people in South Africa involved and with an income. Okay? Or we could have started a brand new business, and maybe it was massively successful and we could hire 500 South Africans. Okay? That's at 500. But we know that in the last 6 months, 433,000 South Africans lost their jobs. So what would our 500 extra jobs do in fixing this problem? None of these things fixed the problem. So we went and we did a whole lot of research, and we found that over the last 30 years, there's been a new form of distribution that has started to come out in the South African market. Not many people know about it. Some people do, some people don't, but particularly in the financial services space, it's quite new. And that was multi-level marketing. Network marketing. I'm going to say it. It'll make everybody go, oh, I don't want network marketing. Oh, okay. And we looked at it and we said, well, it's got a whole lot of holes in it at the moment. But if we fix the holes, we can create a tool. We can create a tool that we can put not in the hands of 60 or 70 brokers or in the hands of 500 new staff members. We can put it in the hands of every single South African. And that tool, if we design it correctly, will create in the hands of that individual sustainable, recurring income that they can control. Now, what else do we know about the economy in South Africa? 99% of you are either employed or been employed at some time. And you know that while you were employed, you had zero control over the generation of your own income. Zero. Someone else told you how much you were going to earn. Someone else told you when you were going to earn it, what increase you were going to get, what bonuses you were going to get, and what promotions you were going to have, or whether you were fired or not. Someone else told you. You had no control. I've often said to people, go to your bosses and try and negotiate something different, like an increase every month. Just to be different. It's just not a conversation that can even occur because you have no control. There's about 0.5% of the working force that do have control over their income. Great. They don't need to come here. The other 99.5% of us, whether you're an executive, manager, middle management, working in the mailroom, digging mine shafts, we don't get any control over our income. And we knew that if we used this type of distribution, we could create a tool that would put you back in control. Now, what have we realized as a nation over the last 50 years particularly? Well, what we have realized is that this income that's in control of somebody else is growing at a slower rate than the cost of our living. Now, what that means is prices are increasing faster than our income is. We know this. I mean, what have they been saying for the last 15 years? No, inflation's 6%. 6%? Really? Has your shopping bill only increased by 6% per annum? Mine hasn't. Go and look at what the price is. I like using this example. I'm a bit of a petrol head, so I bring it up every now and then. When I was 18 and aspiring, when you're 18 and the world is just ahead of you and you're going straight to CEO. All right, when I was at that young and naive age, that BMW M3 was out. It had just come out, the new dolphin-shaped one. Does anyone remember how expensive it was to buy a BMW M3? I mean, this was very exciting stuff. 245,000 Rand. 245,000 Rand? Holy smoke, I'd buy 10 of them right now. 245,000 Rand. How much is it to buy a BMW M3 right now? I looked up the latest one. 1.8 million Rand. 6% per annum, my ass. In the last couple of months, the economists have got a little bit braver. And I read an article about 4 weeks ago where they said, look, realistically, inflation's been sitting at about 17% per annum. 17%? That means every 4 years it's 100%. That's crazy. Prices doubling. Every 4 years, prices are doubling. Is your income doubling every 4 years? No, 3%, 6%. And it doesn't matter who you are. Again, don't let people come to me and say, I'm the executive. I don't care. Your income is also not keeping up with your expenditure. That's the position. In the last 50 years, we had to find somebody to fill that gap because we were earning this much and we needed this much to survive. And what we did was we got a hold of debt. And in the last 50 years, we have completely mastered and professionalized the industry of debt. We have debt for everything. We have debt for our food, for our clothes, for our cars, for our houses, for Granny's funeral. We have debt for everything. And when I open up any one of your wallets and you show me how many cards you've got in your wallet, down like that. I've got 2.5 grand. Yeah. The average person in South Africa earns 4,500 rand a month. Okay? And yet they say the average debt in South Africa is 289,000 rand. If you do the ratio of that, 4,500 rand to 289,000, we are experts at debt. We have learned how to leverage ourselves into the ground. And you know what debt is? Debt is poison. It never goes away. That's why we always laugh. That's why most South Africans have 2 bank accounts. The one account that you declare when you're taking the debt out, and the other one where your salary comes in. You know? Yeah, they're all laughing, but like guiltily. Like I could say, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Okay? That's what we do. It's how we survive. How else are we going to survive? Now, we, using this method, an innovated and changed form of multi-level marketing, have created a tool that we believe in your hands puts you back in control, allows you to create an income at your own speed and rate that is not here today, gone tomorrow, but recurring and stable that you can use to replace this bridge of debt in your life. Is it going to take 5 minutes? No, it's going to take time. But in time, we want to replace it. In more time, we want to start tackling the longer term issues of your economy. How and what are you doing with regard to your future? The immediate future? Have you guys got cash flow for immediate disasters? Granny dying and you have to pay for the funeral, a kid getting sick, a car accident, you getting injured. Have you got free cash lying around, just ready to tackle it? What about when you have to retire one day? And you will. At some point in time, either someone's going to retire you or you're physically not going to be able to work anymore. That's going to happen. Who pays for you then? What have you got ready for that? Do you know what the research says? This was done in about September last year. A bunch of organizations, including Fin24, you can go find it on their website still. When they went and they looked at South Africans, they said, guess what? No one in South Africa is getting ready for retirement. When I say no one, I said 99.5%. 99. It's everybody, guys. No one is getting ready. And I agree, because they said in order for you to be ready for retirement, you need saved in your bank account 10 times your current annual salary. That's 10 years of salary saved if you want to live on the interest alone in your retirement. Anyone on track for 10 years worth of savings? No. Do you see the problem that we as DuePoint had to solve? This is a massive issue. DuePoint cannot put you in a position where you can start saving what is required to survive in the future. We physically cannot do this. We had to create a new mechanism. We wanted to change the way we distribute our products in order to equip you with this income. Now, the second thing that we wanted to do, as I said, one of the big calls in the industry and the market is transformation. Tick. We wanted to work on that. It's not easy, but we believe we've created a system that can do it. The second call is the education and constant communication of insurance companies with their customers. In fact, they spread it to all financial institutions and their customers. How do we communicate with you on a constant basis? How do you communicate with us? How do we ensure you understand your products, you understand the systems in the financial services space? How do we ensure we do that? Well, we built a system that does that. And we put those 2 objectives, the objective of controllable income in your hands and direct and constant communication and education, into what we call the DuePoint system. The DuePoint system, folks, is really simple. We had to make it simple. We had to make it simple, and we had to make it modern, because we're not living in the 1990s anymore. We are now about to go into the 2020s. I remember in the 1990s dreaming about it. I wonder what the year 2020. Do you remember there was that show? This is going to show my age now. There was a show called Beyond 2000. And there was like levitation suits and all sorts of things going. And if any of you have seen Back to the Future, you know that they went to 2016 where they had the hoverboards and all of that. No, we're still not there yet either. But we're in 2020 now. Okay? We had to create a system that works now, not a system that worked in the 1990s. What we did is we said that we'll create a system where every individual can come and contract with DuePoint as what we'll call wealth engineers. We want them to start engineering their own wealth. So we'll call them wealth engineers. And that wealth engineer will be given one simple task, a task that allows them to look into the financial services space, look through the glass window, get involved by watching what's going on, and start growing their aptitude for the financial services space. And that task will be simply to connect individuals to DuePoint. That's all. Just not brokering, not representing, not selling, not advertising, none of those things. Not Facebooking, not Facebookers, no Facebooking. Okay? Just connecting individuals to us. And when you do that, you would automatically then be bringing the market to us. We would be able to penetrate it, create new channels of distribution, and distribute our product. That was what we wanted to do as an insurance company. Distribute our products into these channels, creating revenue for ourselves. And if we can create revenue for ourselves, we then can create that recurring extra income for you. Why? Because this is financial services. You know financial services run on a monthly debit order system. Okay? You don't pay once and not again. You pay every single month. And our products can last a lifetime if you want them to. In which case, every month our computers raise those debit orders, and every month your income comes in. How different is this to the old-fashioned systems where you had to buy a box of stuff? Okay, I've been told I'm not allowed to mention what the stuff is anymore. Okay, you had to buy a box of stuff. Okay, and then you had to go to your friends and convince them that it was better than what they could buy in the shops. And what would happen? They'd buy the first month, and then they'd go, really? The stuff I got at Checkers was actually better and cheaper. Okay, and then they wouldn't buy again. But you stuck with boxes of stuff you've had to spend money on, and your income has dried up in month 2. That's not what happens here. With financial services, the debit order runs every single month. You don't have to run back to anyone. You don't have to come and buy a box of anything. You know, my dad used to tell this awesome story. When he was young, he used to be an insurance broker, and he'd take his briefcase, and he'd sit down with someone, and he would open his briefcase, and he'd look at them, and he'd look in his briefcase, and he'd say, you know what, you're so lucky. This is my last insurance policy. You know, oh, sign me up, sign me up. It doesn't run out. You don't run out of stock. You don't need a fridge. You don't need a buggy to move it. You don't need any of that stuff. We've eliminated all of that. Okay, from not only your garage, but from what you need to do. As a wealth engineer, you don't need to do any of that with us. But what we have assured, the fundamental cornerstone of what we wanted to develop was to become part of the economic solution by creating an income that is not there one day and gone the next, but one that is there every single month. One day when you hit retirement and you can't work anymore, it still keeps coming in. And it's not like digging trenches or building. You can still do this, growing channels with us, when you can't lift the spade anymore. It's a business you can do until your last breath, and it brings income in reliably and stably for you, part of the economic solution in South Africa. Then the second thing we wanted to do was that we knew that most South Africans, and I'm talking again like 99.5% of South Africans, are never going to be in a position to reach any of their aspirations. They're not. You have got an 8-hour-a-day job. I promise you, it will never get you the Lamborghini. You will never get a boat on the Med. You are never going to have that fancy house that you wanted. Full-time jobs suck up all your hours. While you take your thought and your energy and your creativity and you pour it into something that someone else is rewarded for. That's normal. And you guys have all signed into it. You've all accepted it. I was talking to a guy today, a wonderful guy, experienced, capable. I showed him the DuePoint system. And as true as Bob, he said to me afterwards, no, Brendan, this looks awesome. Can I rather come and work for you? Your job is making you poor. It is it not? Otherwise, you'd all be wealthy. None of you would be here tonight. You'd be driving in your Bentleys. You would be. 0.5% of the population are in that position. Your job does not allow you to go beyond yourself. When you're locked into an 8-hour-day job as a professional where somebody works, you know that income stops when you stop working. Now, we wanted to create a system that creates income 24 hours a day. And again, when we went and did the research, we found that the only instrument that was available out there was network marketing. Ugh. It was the only one. It was the only one that would put you in a position where you would leverage the time and skills of others. And instead of working against each other like you do in employment, you would now work as a team. And some people are awake at 3 o'clock in the morning, and some people are awake at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Everybody would be growing your income on a 24-hour basis. And we know it happens here at DuePoint. I told them the other night, we get a report on our cell phones every 2 hours. Every 2 hours. You will be blown away at how many people become wealth engineers between midnight and 6 in the morning. Last night, 17. 17 people between midnight. What were these people doing? Okay? That 17 people would say, you know what? I'm changing my future right now, 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's sign. You know, and they would do it. Now that means that for the people who those people went into their channels while they slept, their channel grew by 17 people last night. That is what we wanted to do, and that is what we've put into the DuePoint system, as I will demonstrate to you in the next few minutes. Now, this is not an employment contract. I've just said to you, I could have started another business and hired 500 people. We're not doing that. No, no, no. There is no employment opportunity at DuePoint, as the gentleman discovered this afternoon with me. We're not hiring any staff, and neither are you. You are not hiring, you're not recruiting, you're not sponsoring. That's what you used to do in the 1990s systems. Okay? The things you hated and have learned to hate. You don't do any of that here at DuePoint. None of that. So no Facebooking, DuePoint recruiting. I'm the new DuePoint staff member. I have seen all of it. I'm the new DuePoint financial advisor. No, you are not. We have a specific contract with you, which says you have one task. Just connect individuals to us. We do all the rest of the work for you. Now, there is no risk in becoming a wealth engineer. What's the other thing that we know about our economy? We get robbed every day. We do. They either put a gun to you and take your wallet, or they schneer you some other way. Okay? How do they do it? Just put 10,000 Rand into this, and we'll give you 30,000 Rand by next week. Or just put this in, and we'll give you these returns. I had somebody today actually criticize us. I had a good chuckle when I read it. How can you promise these returns? We don't promise any returns. At DuePoint, I promise you no returns. Okay? You can never put 10,000 Rand in and next week I'll give you 20,000. No, that's not how this works. That is a proper Ponzi scheme. If you want to know it, that's what it is. There's none of that here. We don't guarantee any sort of return to you. What we have done is said, here's a tool. Use it and grow your income. That's what we promise you. Now, what we also don't do is we don't take any of your money. There is no price at all in becoming a wealth engineer. Not to start with and not to continue. There is no monthly fees. There's no application form fees. No starter kits that you're going to buy this evening. To become a wealth engineer this evening will cost you nothing. Will cost you nothing. By simply being a product owner of DuePoint, you're automatically a wealth engineer. There is no additional cost to being a wealth engineer at DuePoint. This is just a tool. And we say, go out and connect us to people in South Africa. So you don't have to feel like you're risking money tonight. No, you will be risking something else that I'm going to get to in a minute. And it's not your reputation with your friends, but that is also a risk. Network marketing, No, folks. Tonight we have designed a system we believe that you will not lose financially with. Then, you also now do not require any specific qualification or education in this realm, because you're not doing any of the things that preclude you from entering the market with us. You're not selling. You're not advising. You're not recommending. You're not comparing. You're not even doing administrative tasks for us. You simply connect individuals to us. And as a result, everybody in South Africa can take this tool. Everybody in South Africa can build their income with the DuePoint system. We could find nothing else in our market that would offer that opportunity other than what we have created here. And then what it would do is it would create for you an asset. An asset. An asset that you can have, that you can price, that you can sell, that you can transfer, and one that you will be able to pass on when you pass away one day. Your children will get the channel that you've created, and they will continue to earn the income that you have generated in your lifetime. Now, I had somebody this week say to me, much to my sadness, no, but Brendan, this is an inappropriate, not an illegitimate. I said to him, this is legitimate. He says, no, it is legitimate, but it's an inappropriate way to distribute financial services. That just staggered me. Okay, let's just unpack that for a minute. He said, what you're doing is you're promising people the ability to create income because you want to sell a product. No, folks. Yes, of course we want to sell products. But we're also trying to be part of the solution. Like I said, I could start a call center. That's going to fix 5 people and really not help my distribution. I could start a brokerage. No. What is inappropriate? Do you know that when they launched Clientele Life in 1992, Clientele Life spent 17 weeks in the news because it was immoral to sell insurance on TV? It was immoral. That's what the news was saying. The news was saying it's immoral to sell insurance on TV. Do we sell insurance on TV these days? When you see an insurance advert, are you like, this is disgusting? They will just allow anything on TV these days. You don't even bat an eyelid. Do you know that for 17 weeks, Clientele was in the newspapers for doing it? Because someone felt, not that it was illegal or illegitimate, that it wasn't appropriate. It wasn't appropriate. Do you think it's inappropriate that we be part of the economic solution while we sell our products? We want to help. We want to do this. And yes, of course, we want to make some money, but we want you to make money with us in this process. And what we also want you to do is to create something of legacy. Not just an income while you're alive, like your job. You know, when you die, your kids don't get to get your job. All right? They'll probably downsize when you pass away anyway. Make someone else do the task you were doing. Okay? No. We wanted to create an asset. How inappropriate is that? That we wanted to create something that you could have and hand over, generation from generation. That's what we wanted to do with our system. Folks, this is a system of convenience. I said to you, we looked at it. We know what the issues were with the old system. We know. We know the things that embarrassed you, frustrated you, and possibly impoverished you in the past. And we tried our darndest to eliminate them. First of all, no financial loss as best we can create it. Second of all, you never sell. At DuePoint, you play no part in our sales transaction. None at all. None at all. You simply connect people to us. I'm going to show you how to do that now. But you never sell. You never advertise. You never market. You don't Facebook. Okay? You're not brokers, representatives, agents. You know, none of those things. What was the other thing that we hated doing? We hated having to do presentations. Or we hated having our friend do the presentation because he was just awful. Okay? And then we said, well, we'll become a presenter, and we had to become accredited as a presenter, so we had to learn all the products. I was about to mention them, but I'm not allowed to. Had to learn about what they do and, all of that jazz. We had to learn, and then we got accredited, and then we had to find a venue. And we had to pay for the venue, and every week we had to hope people would arrive, and every week we had to give the presentation. At DuePoint, there are only two people that give this presentation. Rob and myself. And as I said to you earlier, I'm much better than Rob. But we're the only two people that give this presentation. You are never going to give a presentation for DuePoint. Not ever. You're completely free. You're free from having to sell. You're free from having to present. You simply connect people to DuePoint. How do you connect people to DuePoint? There's 4 ways. There's only 4 ways, guys. Don't try and invent the 5th way. There's only 4 ways to connect people to DuePoint. The first way is by buying one of our USB sticks. You can buy it here at our information counter, or you can order it at info@duepoint.net, and we'll have it delivered to you. It's 150 Rand, and it's got our presentations on it. If you've got a smart TV or computer, you plug it in, and wham, presto, there we are, doing the presentation for you in front of your friends and acquaintances. Okay, that's the first way. Second way, if you're in Gauteng, you can come here. Monday to Saturday, we present out of here. We, in fact, record our presentations out of here, and you get to be part of our live studio audience. Okay? Monday to Saturday. If you can get here, sit in here, we'll present to you and your friends and acquaintances. Third way, the most important way of connecting individuals to DuePoint is through our YouTube channel, DuePoint channel. So you go to YouTube, you search DuePoint channel, and you find DuePoint there. That on our website is DuePoint. And on our channel, you will find every single presentation we've ever done. You can go pick your favorites. And any time of the day, like those 17 people last night, 3 o'clock in the morning, you click the button. I've got my full makeup on. I'm fresh, and I'm ready to present. Anywhere in the country, any time of the day. You connect individuals by clicking one button on your computer, your phone, or your tablet. And there we are. Now, people in Gauteng, you guys like to give me the excuse of no. Only when I bring the people here are they going to believe me that this is legit. When they've seen the bricks and the paint and the doors and the people, and I've had a selfie with you, then they will believe me. Then they will believe me. So I have been challenging people. I have been challenging people in the last month with these 2 questions. So far, I've had 2 people say yes. So statistically, I'm on a good wicket here. You've all heard of Google, hey? Yes. You know what I'm now going to ask you, hey? Have any of you been to Google's head office? No? Well, then I imagine none of you use Google. None of you using Google, hey? You don't use Google. Because it's illegitimate. You haven't seen its head office, it can't be legitimate, hey? No, we're a 7-decade-old insurance company, but we're only legitimate when you see the bricks and the mortar. Where there are 8 other provinces that are building their channels without ever having been here, they seem to have cottoned on to how this works. Okay, second question. Have any of you been to Facebook's head office? No. But you would recommend it to your friends, and your friends would not respond with, I'm not doing this until I've been to their head office. Huh? It's a change in psychology, guys. This is not the 1990s anymore. When people say to you, not until I see the bricks and mortar, you say, you are stuck in last century. Everything about DuePoint is online. Everything. There is more online than I could possibly show you in this office. We exist at DuePoint.net. We exist at DuePoint channel on YouTube. That is where we are. No further legitimacy is required. You'll find our licenses there. Go to the FSB's website. You'll find us there. Go to Constantia's website. You'll find us there. You want to see our financial statements? You'll find us there. Go to the JC. Look us up, Conduit Capital. You'll find us there. How can coming here make us any more legitimate? What if I moved offices tomorrow and there was a week between where we didn't have an office? Would we now not be legitimate anymore? No, we exist online. So don't use that as an excuse. The fourth way of connecting people to us is through our live streams. Every one of our presentations is recorded live. As I said to you, you're part of our live studio audience this evening, and sent out to the entire nation. And so if you're at work or at home or at church or in a coffee shop and you've got a screen and an internet connection and you know we're live, you click one button and we are live on that screen presenting to you, your friends, and your acquaintances. Those are the only 4 ways you connect people to DuePoint, and it is convenient for you. While you do that, some of the people you connect to DuePoint are going to catch the vision of what we're trying to do here and want to become wealth engineers. Not all of them. No, not your dad, not your mom, not your brother. That's a matter of principle. They say no. Okay? Even if you said, Dad, I'll give you $1 million, they say no. Okay? Principle issues. But people you talk to, some of them are going to say yes. And when they do, they'll want to become wealth engineers. And as they become wealth engineers with us, we allocate them to you, and your channel is born. These folk go out, they do the same thing. They talk to a bunch of people. Some of them want to become wealth engineers, and we connect them to your channel. And this happens over and over and over again until there are droves of people throughout the country connecting individuals to DuePoint and growing your channel of distribution with us while you sleep. Now, this is not made up. This is actually happening out there right now with DuePoint. Now, we, as DuePoint, come along and we facilitate the purchase of our products throughout this channel that you've created for us. Not you. You don't have to worry about it as well. We come and do it. And of course, when we do that, your income is born. Now, what is incredibly important to note, and it's the crux of what we wanted to do. As a 7-decade-old insurance company, we didn't go, right, how do we create ourselves a scheme to rob people? That would have ended 7 decades of business right there on the spot. We have 8 regulators that look after us. We're listed on the stock exchange. We are reviewed on a quarterly basis by the FSB. They actually come to our offices every 3 months. We didn't push a scheme past them. We built something that we believe is genuine income earning opportunity. Now, are you going to get rich quick with this? No. Because if you did, it wouldn't be genuine. And I often tease. People say to me, Brendan, this better not be one of those get rich quick schemes. When they say that, I know they're hoping this is a get rich quick scheme. Oh, no, I've seen it. Why? Because 90 days later, they come back to me and go, Brendan, this is happening too slowly. It's happening too slowly. I expect to be a millionaire by now. You'll see, by the end of this evening, you'll be like, no, I'm going to be rank 9 in 3 months. And then you'll discover in 3 months you're not, and then you want to quit because this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not a shape you've read about in a newspaper. This is none of those things. None of those things. This is a genuine income-earning opportunity backed by a 7-decade-old insurance company. What you're going to pay for at DuePoint is not money. Like I said, we tried to create it so you wouldn't lose financially. You're going to pay with time. Time. You know the thing you've been pouring into your career for the last, 5, 10, 15, 20 years? The time you've been pouring in? You're going to have to take a little piece of that now and add this to your life. No one at DuePoint is going to tell you to quit your jobs. That would be reckless and irresponsible. No. What we do is we add this to your life. And we say, take a little bit of your time and pay with time and start to change your life with DuePoint. How do you do it? Well, you do it in 2 ways. The first way is through our returns program. Our returns program pays you R27.50 every time someone in your channel makes a product payment successfully via debit order, multiplied by a factor of where in your channel that payment is made. So, for instance, a couple of your friends that you chat to are the nice ones. They don't say no. They want to become wealth engineers. They catch the vision, and they make their product payments via debit order. You get R27.50 multiplied by 200% for those people. 55 Rand every month for every product that they have. Okay, it's not 1 Rand, it's not 5 Rand, it's not 12 Rand 26. Those are 1990s numbers. This is material. It is significant in its 21st century. These folk go out, they chat to a few more people, and these people make their product payments, and again, you get 27 Rand 50 multiplied by 200%. That's 55 Rand. You've been here in this particular example for 5 minutes. You've put a handful of people into your DuePoint channel. And if you add up those dots, you're now earning just under 1,000 Rand a month. It's not life-changing, but you feel it. You feel it. Now you pay with more time. You pay with lots more time. And you start to grow your channel outward. As you do, you earn on a diminishing basis down to the 8th point. But there's no limit to how much you can earn in the DuePoint system. From the 8th point on, as long as you qualify to earn, you will always earn 4% at 27 Rand 50. When we looked at the systems, when we looked at what was out there, people were cutting off at certain points and saying you could only earn to the 5th point. You could only earn to the 8th point. You could only. And we said, how do we unlock the potential of South Africans? How do we do it? We have to unlock and unlimit the size of their channels. That too will allow them to create legacy. When they hand their channels over to their children one day, their children will be able to take off from where their parents left. You know, like the big rich families out there that everybody always wants to hate? They've been building their businesses for 150 years. When you've had one family build one business for 150 years, they're going to be rich too. Okay? And we wanted to put that opportunity in the hands of South Africans. What else? How else can we be part of the solution other than this? To be able to put an asset that can be handed down and down. Now, how do you qualify to earn? I've been asked that question. There is a 6-minute video on our YouTube channel. 6 minutes. That's how long it takes for me to explain the entire system. That explains to you how to qualify. So go and watch it, get on top of it, start building your channels. Now, practically speaking, how much do you and can you expect to earn with the returns program at DuePoint? I have no idea. It all depends completely on you. Remember, you're not an employee of mine. This is not one of those systems that guarantees. No, it's a tool. Here it is. You use it the way you want. Some of you are going to use it a little bit, some a lot, some none at all. Every one of you will develop a different income and a different channel of distribution because this is not a shape. It is organic. You will all design your own channels and your own market penetration in South Africa with this. But people ask me, so we went away, all the accountants in the room, and we sat down with 2 decades of information that we have. And we said, how can we create a reasonable target, estimate of what you can earn with us? We call it, and we created in what we call is the 3+2 growth formula. What the 3+2 growth formula says that if you, as a new wealth engineer, were to put 3 people on your first point in your first month with us, it's you, 3 people in your first. That's not unreasonable. 3 people in a month, I think you can do that. And then every month thereafter, you put just 2 people on your first point. Every month. So it's you. I'm talking to you only, not your channel. And if you were able to do that consistently, +2, +2, +2 on your first point, every single month, persistently over time, we reckon that where you did that, and we apply all our math, lapses, cancellations, all of that to it, we reckon that after 6 months, you can reasonably expect to be earning about 2,500 Rand a month with us. So you can see how this is not like Facebook or those things that are always landing on the shore in KZN. This is 6 months to 2,500 Rand. It's hardly life-changing, although for some of you it would already be life-changing. But it is 30,000 Rand that you have engineered yourself that comes in every year as additional cash flow into your household. You haven't quit your job, so you've still got that money coming in. Now you've got an extra 2,500. Now, if you could do 6 months of +2, +2, +2, work with your team, we reckon after a year, you would be on around 9,000 to 10,000 Rand a month. So that's spring next year. 9,000 to 10,000 Rand regularly, stably coming into your household every single month. So you know how much you earn now? You know what your list of problems is. Okay? How many of those problems disappear with an extra 10 grand a month? It's on top of your salary. You're still working. What kind of relief can you feel? If you close your eyes now and imagine the extra 10 grand a month, what kind of relief does that bring you? 12 months from now, not 5 minutes, not 3 months, guys, not here. This is where most of you want to quit, is around there. 3 months. No, this is 12 months in. But if you can do 2 years with us, can you put 2 years into something when you put years into your employment? Can you put just 2 years into this? If you can do that, we reckon you could reasonably expect to be earning about 27,000 to 30,000 Rand a month. 2 years from now, 20 19. Spring 2019. 27 to 30,000 rand a month. 360,000 rand a year. 360,000 rand a year. If you can do 3 years with us, we reckon you'll be on about 45 to 50,000 rand a month. 600,000 rand a year. If you can do 4 years with us, we reckon you'd be on about 60 to 65,000 rand a year, a month. About 720,000 rand a year. And if you can do half a decade, 5 years with us, 60 months, not 60 minutes, not 60 days, not even 60 weeks, 60 months with us, we reckon you can reasonably and conservatively estimate your earnings at about 80 to 100,000 rand a month. You're now earning R1 million a year, and you're in the top 0.5% of earners in the country. How many of you are going to get there? I don't know. How many of you can put 5 years into something? One of the things we're bad at in South Africa is self-discipline. We're bad at it. If it takes too much time and too much hard work, we go find something else. But, oddly enough, you go to work every Monday morning. I saw this really funny meme where it says, employee to boss, are we still on for this morning? And the boss says, yes, we're still on, and stop sending me these SMSs every morning. Every morning, you're happy to go there, man. Every morning, back on that treadmill. Can you put 5 years into this business? People say we earn too slowly at DuePoint. Yeah, because you're earning, we hope, for your lifetime. Stable recurring income. Yeah, this is not funny stuff. This is you need to work hard. But imagine increasing your earnings every single month. Even if it's just by a couple hundred rand a month. Go and have that conversation with your boss. I want 250 rand more a month, please. Have that conversation. Yeah, you grow slowly here. Secondly, people say to me, Brendan, this is just marketing. Nobody's ever going to earn this. People only lose in network marketing. Ugh. People only lose. Okay. Yeah, maybe lots of people have lost. I would argue that that's because most people gave up. But I would also argue is that in the older systems, you lost a lot of money trying to buy things and sell them. Here, there's no financial loss. You can keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going until your grandma comes back. You can. And so you've got all the time in the world with our system. Now, it is a good statement, though. This is just mathematics. We had to work something out, so we like looking at it on the ground. How is this thing actually working out there? Every month, we select a handful of people to show you how it's happening out there. This month, we've got these particular 4. In the next week or 2, we'll have a next batch in. You can see the testimonies of those we've selected on our YouTube channel. There must be 50 of them at least. But here is this month. So we've got Malou, okay, over here. We've already run out of time this evening. I can't say the rest of his name. And so he's got a fantastic testimony, a really, really fantastic testimony. He talks about coming into this business skeptical. He was like the guy who said, this doesn't feel appropriate. Okay? He was like that guy. And he came and he said, all right, well, I'm going to test the waters. They say they're going to pay me 55 rand. I can't believe they're going to pay me 55 rand. They don't even pay brokers at Discovery 55 rand. Okay? Let's see what happens. Put 3 people in, and as true as Bob, the license listed and 6.5-decade-old insurance company did what it promised. It paid him. And then he said, all right, okay, that's interesting. All right, we'll do a little bit more. We've got 1 or 2 more people in the next month. And we paid him again. Then he was a believer. And in the last 7 months, he's built himself a channel worth 10,000 rand a month. 7 months. Remember what the math said? The math said, and I stand by the math, so I think that those are reasonable targets. The math said 6 months to 2,500 rand a month, a year to 9,000 to 10,000 rand. 7 months. 7. He picked up the tool and he got working. And now he has a channel that's worth 120,000 rand a year. He does. Then we've got Zongizwe down at Kwamashu in KZN. I know, there's not a lot down there. There's a couple of houses and a few trees. Okay? So if you think you're handicapped up here or wherever you might be, no. Here's somebody who's making life-changing decisions in the circumstances she's in. Unemployed for 4 years. Unemployed for 4 years. And in the last 4 months, she's created a channel worth 12,000 rand a month. 4 months. Not 6 months to 2,500, not 12 months to 9,000 to 10,000. 4 months, 12,000 rand a month. That's what she's done. Then we've got Siyabonga. Been with us for 6 months. And in 6 months, he too has built a channel, not here in Joburg where he can bring people to the paint and the bricks and the oil, down in KZN. He's built himself a channel worth 12,000 Rand a month. But folks, maybe 5,000 Rand a month is the best you're ever going to get. We are not an unreasonable business here. We know that not many of you are going to make a massive living out of this. Not because there's any problem with our system. Anybody can make a massive living out of our system. It's that people won't commit to it. As I said, we've got a self-discipline problem in South Africa. We don't commit to the tasks before us. But some people will. Now, I've shown you a couple that have, but maybe 5 grand is the best you can ever do with DuePoint. 60,000 Rand a year. How does that change your personal economics? How does it change? What an extra, every month you know there's that 5 grand coming in. How many problems are solved with an extra 5 grand a month? How many? That's what we want to do in South Africa. How inappropriate is that? That we want to try and put 5 grand at least in the hands of every South African. That is how you change economies. That's how you be part of the solution with us. Then we've got Donnie. Donnie has been chipping away at building his channel with us for about 16 months now. He said to me last year, if I can just put a couple of 100 Rand more in a month, just grow my income by a couple of 100 Rand every month, imagine what my income will look like in 10 years' time. And what he does is he chips away and chips away and chips away. Look at this. He has negotiated with his boss, which is himself, a 6,000 Rand increase every 4 months. Go and try this out tomorrow morning. It's Friday. Maybe your boss is in a good mood. Every 4 months, I'd like a 6,000 Rand increase. Go and try it out. See what happens. He's not shooting the light. Donnie's taking this one step at a time. Every month, a couple 100 Rand more. A couple 100 Rand more. And now he's got a channel worth 300,000 Rand a year. Remember I said it would take 2 years to get to 27 to 30,000 Rand. This was at 16 months. He had 8 months left. I think he's going to make it. I think the maths is going to be proved sound with Donnie. 2 years to 30,000 Rand a month. The decision is yours. The decision is yours. The tool you can get tonight. No cost. The decision to work with the tool, well, I can't do anything about that. That's your decision. Folks, go to our YouTube channel. Go watch the testimonies. People earning 700 bucks, 3,000 Rand, 8,000 Rand, 83,000 Rand. Yep, we got people earning 83,000 Rand and more out of the DuePoint system. Go and see how they're doing it. Get comfortable with what we've done here. Now, that's the first way you earn. The second way you earn is through our XP Rewards training program. Our XP Rewards training program was there to address that key issue. How do we get people into the financial services space? How do we get South Africans in and get them to see through the glass pane because they're not allowed on the other side of the glass pane because they don't have How do we get them to at least look through it? Well, we created a system of training. This was our communication, our education, all tying in to what we created here. And we said we'll take any one of you, even those of you who are afraid to do this, through a step-by-step process. That as you do that, as you do the steps, we take you from beginner to expert channel builder and open your eyes to the financial services industry. As you do that, we will, as you complete the steps, we'll give you XP points, experience points that measure how experienced you are in the business. They're not worth rands and cents for my Facebookers. They are just points that measure your experience and progress with us. As you get more experienced, your channel starts growing. And as you meet the criteria of experience and channel size in our training program, we start to rank you up in the training program. We make it exciting. We give you some reward for ranking up. In the beginning, it's a little bit of cash. As you get a little bit more experience, your channel gets a little bit bigger. Well, the cash does too. And then we start to give you tools. Tools. We're equipping you. So we communicate, we educate, and we equip through the system. What do? Rank 5 in our training program. We give you an imported lightning memory stick from America, plugs into every single electronic device. It's got all of our presentations, downloads, tools, testimonies that you need to connect people to DuePoint with anytime, anywhere. At rank 7, we give you another very powerful tool, your own set of business cards, imported, 12,500 Rand set, gold gilded, gold printed, custom made for you, the Ferrari of business cards. There's a bunch of people that are in this picture and others that are in the audience this evening with their business cards. Go and ask them to look at one. They're not going to let you touch it, but you'll be able to look at it. Maybe take a picture with your phone. Always one of our guys does that. He goes, yeah, just take a picture with your phone. It's great, okay? If you can't find them, go and look in our glass cabinet out there. And you'll just take your sunglasses and go and have a look at what a 12,500 Rand set of business cards looks like. Go and have a look. You get that at rank 7. And then rank 9, as long as you maintain your channel size, every year that you do, we take you and your family away on a 1-week holiday, all expenses paid, 5-star business class trip. How do we turn around the minds of South Africans? We are not people that aspire anymore. We have had aspiration knocked right out of us with the culture and history of our country. For all of us. All of us. We're all terrified of each other. We all know we're going to fail. We don't aspire to greatness. We wanted to bring that back. And whether that feels inappropriate or not, I'm not sure. But we wanted to bring it back. We wanted people to start thinking beyond themselves. My mother tells me how her aunt used to get extremely angry with her, as hard as this might be to believe. My mother was actually desperately poor when she grew up. And her mother used to say, her aunt used to say to her, when she'd walk past a nice house in Port Elizabeth, she'd say, Auntie, I had one day, I want to live in this house. Her aunt used to say to her, you are going to bring your mother a lot of heartache because you're aspiring for things you shouldn't. Is that not the way we feel? We don't dare aspire anymore in South Africa. We don't dare because it only leads to heartache and disappointment. That's what it does. And we said, we're going to build into our system some aspiration. And if that makes us bad people, I'm sorry. But we have to get South Africans dreaming again. We have to. And I can't get you to dream again unless I put it on the table. And so we put it on the table. Now don't get too excited. You're not rank 9. You're rank 0. There's a long way. You're not even on the ladder yet. But we put that there and we say, walk past the house. Look at it. And go, one day I want that. And start walking towards it. That is what we created here. And every year we go away with all of our rank 9s. No winners, no competitions at DuePoint. Everything's earned. The qualification criteria is the same for everybody. You saw it, experience and channel size. You tick the 2 boxes, you rank 9, and you maintain your channel size, we take you away every year. A whole bunch of us are going at the end of this year. We're going in December. It's like 100 days. It is unlikely you will join us. It is unlikely. Now, you can say, bugger that, Brendan, I'm going to be there and go for it and make it. That's up to you. But the beautiful thing about the DuePoint system is that you don't start on 0 again. We don't go, all the rank 9s, you're 0 again in January. No. This is an accumulation system. How do we create legacy and asset? What you build in the next 100 days is where you start next year, January. And it means that it's that much easier to get to rank 9 next year for our trip next year. If you don't make it next year, it doesn't matter. When you start in your second year, you've got 2 years accumulated that you then build towards. It becomes easier. Every rank 9 comes away with us where they maintain their channel size. This is where we're going at the end of this year. Book my ticket. Yeah. Everybody can aspire again. That's what we want. Everybody we want aspiring again. Do we guarantee you'll get there? No. No, not at all. I don't even know how many of you are going to make it. But some of you will. Some of you will put your minds to it, your shoulder to the wheel, and will do what is required and put the time in, and we'll get there. It is available for everybody. That lies in your hands now. In rank 11, we give you another very useful tool. It's your own car. It's not rented to you. It's not given to you and taken away. You don't finance it through us. It's not branded. It's yours. Because we want you equipped to be building a new economy in your own life. Part of our program, part of our training, we run every month called Wealth Quests. Wealth Quests are designed to run from the first to the last day of every month, very strictly, first to the last day. And every month it's different. But in each month, we hope to train you in a different way. We hope to create better and more solid foundations in your channel by setting just certain criteria. And where those criteria are met, everybody who meets them is rewarded. We give you tools again to help for the next month. Some months it's iPads, other months it's iPhones, smart TVs, cash, Wi-Fi, routers, data, all the things that you need, we give you. This particular month, we're running the Expand Your Empire XP Quest. And what it says is, go and find someone in 2 different provinces, get them qualified, watch the 6-minute video, okay? Get them qualified. And if everyone's paid and you're qualified too at the end of the month, we'll give you your own iPad. Not iPad, iPhone, sorry. Your own iPhone. Not some Hong Kong version. I've seen some weird ones here. A proper Apple iPhone. Not the one I used for the last 2 years. You can peel it out the plastic when you get it. Now, if you know how much, someone said to me, now how much is an iPhone? About $5,000. They're not $5,000. They were $5,000 in the 1990s. They're like 11, 12, 15 grand now, depending on what you want. That's what you get. It's a very important and powerful wealth quest that we're running for you this month. And it expands your channel into 2 new provinces. That's what we're going to be doing for you this month. Okay, guys, for the full details of this, you need to go to our website, DuePoint.net. Read the full details to understand how this works. People say to me, Brendan, how does the maths work? I've been asked that question recently as well. Guys, the maths is pretty simple. What we do in the traditional space, is that we run adverts to connect people and to get people to connect to us. I told you about them a little bit earlier. On TV, we've gone from being it's completely immoral to sell insurance on TV to spending billions as an industry on advertising on TV, radios, billboards, bathrooms, taxis. How do we fund that? What we do is reverse engineer that cost into your monthly payments, your banking fees, your funeral cover, your car cover, your home insurance. 30 to 50% of it is next month's marketing. I know because I've done the pricing structures before as well in the traditional space. Now, what we do at DuePoint is exactly the same thing. We've built it into the price. But the only difference is we do 0 advertising. 0. You are never going to see or hear an advert about DuePoint. No, we use you. You go out and you connect individuals to us. And as you connect individuals to us, all that money we would have spent on advertising, on SABC, DSTV, etc., is now available to you. That's the simple maths. If you want to come and talk about the complicated maths with me, that's great. Come and chat afterwards. But that's simply how we afford this process, how we fund this model. So, folks, there are 3 products that we as DuePoint facilitate the purchase of in your channels. You are free from this task. You're free from it. The 3 products were designed again with a macroeconomic view in mind, not as a product by product. We looked at the whole thing and we said, how do we fix it? We made 3 pieces. You can buy all 3 and have the whole thing. You can buy 2. You can buy 1. It's completely up to you. You can buy any one. You can buy any combination. But all 3 were designed together. The first was our Access Wealth. How are we going to get you to start accessing wealth? One of the things we don't do in South Africa is save and invest. You know what they always say? There's been no transformation in the ownership of companies in South Africa. That's right. Okay. Well, I say that's right. Actually, it's wrong, but that's another argument. But, folks, what we wanted to do is get you guys into the position of becoming shareholders. How do we do that? How do we make you shareholders in the businesses of the South African economy? So we went and we worked with a company called GFA, Global Fund Administrators, very innovative 21st century company, and we created a tax-free investment account with them that allows you to invest as little as 100 Rand a month into your own your very own tax-free investment account. 100 Rand a month. As far as we know in the market right now, there isn't another investment account that allows such small allocations. 100 Rand a month. The product costs, or the plan costs 299 Rand a month, but we take 100 of that 299 and we put it in your investment account. Okay? It is an immediate access account. You can draw your money straight away. There's no waiting periods. It's yours. Okay? And you now have that money invested into the stock exchange, bonds, forex, foreign exchange, land, all sorts of things. You now become investors into the South African economy. And as the markets move, your money moves with them. That's what we wanted to do, and we created it here. Then we had a second product that we wrapped into the plan, which was our personal accident cover, Constantia's personal accident cover. So for the remaining 199, you get 110,000 rands worth of personal accident cover in the Access Wealth Plan. That was component number one. Now, component number two was to say, well, how do we, this is the next product, Wealth Guard, how do we guard your wealth now? So you might become wealth engineers, you might decide to take Access Wealth, you start investing, and then a bus runs you over. You've only got 200 Rand that you've invested. What happens to your parents, your family that's at home? What do they have? Well, with our Wealth Guard, for an extra 274 Rand a month, you get 1.1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. So if you were run over by the bus and you had only invested 200 Rand, your family would get the 200 Rand and the value of its investment and 1.1 million Rands worth of personal accident. Now people say, Brendan, why are you guys not selling funeral cover? Well, I kind of thought you could buy a gold casket for 1.1 million Rand. Okay? 1.1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover for an extra 274 when you buy the Wealth Guard product. And then our third component, the third piece of the puzzle. How do we start adjusting your expenditure? How do we start getting you more for less? If we're going to fight the 17% per annum inflation, we need something to fight it. And what we did is we created what we call our Wealth Points Buyers Club. We know as a big corporate, we get discounts all over the place from suppliers that would be very difficult for you to get. So we went to a list of suppliers. Hirsch's, Checkers, Take-A-Lot, Yuppie Chef, Eagle Ford, Altitude Travel, corporate suppliers and wholesalers and retailers. We went to all of them. All the things you're spending money on already. Entertainment, travel, what else we got in there? Groceries, gifts, appliances, all of them. And we went and negotiated corporate rates, our rates. And we said for 274 Rand a month, you can become a member of our Buyers Club. It's a non-financial product, it's a club. Come and join us. And as a member, you get access to our discounts, our prices, our account managers, to a whole host of suppliers, and we're always adding on. Okay, so as I said, you buy the big package. You've got investment, protection, in Wealth Guard, and the ability to streamline your expenditure with us. Now that is in addition to the system of being a wealth engineer. As a wealth engineer, we've already discussed the system. You also get the support and the accessibility of the entire executive and management team here. At any time, you can book us Monday to Saturday. We're going to work with you, with your teams, set goals, strategize, train you. No cost to you. You can book us. Then we gave you this facility. If you're in Gauteng, we have presentation rooms, boardrooms, breakaway rooms, free tea and coffee and Wi-Fi here available Monday to Saturday for you to use at no cost to you. Then we gave you all the software and hardware that comes with being a wealth engineer. You'll see it, our apps, our websites, our portals, our training, all at no cost to you. And then with our live streaming online technology, we allowed you to build a channel anywhere across the nation. You are now equipped and expanded beyond your own capability to aspire to things greater than you ever had before with our system. So for me, after all the effort and time and thought put into the design of this system, we really don't believe that there is much choice left. We want everyone to be wealth engineers. We want them to flick the switch that says, hang on, I can earn in a different way. And I don't have to take risk to do it. I can add this to my life. I can add it to my career. I can add it to my circumstances and start making some changes. That's what we want to do. If you want to become a wealth engineer this evening, folks, very easy. Take your smartphone, your tablet, hook up in our free Wi-Fi, use our iPads outside, and go to our website, DuePoint.net. Click apply, fill out the application, and within minutes you'll get a W number, and you are a wealth engineer. No money having left your pockets tonight. Okay? As a wealth engineer, you can now decide what your future looks like. We've got all the tools to help you too. If you decide you want to make something amazing, get the tools tonight. You can order them at info@DuePoint.net if you're not here, or you can buy them at our information counter. There's the USB stick with our presentations on. Battery packs for your phones that want to die when you're trying to fill out application forms. Business cards. You don't have to wait for rank 5 or rank 7 rather to get your business cards. You can get some tonight. You're not going to pay 12.5 grand. It's a wonderful set that's far more affordable with 500 business cards in it. You can purchase it tonight as well as a whole bunch of other things that you can use as tools in helping you grow your channels. And then, folks, we're down in Durban. All my KZNers, we're going to be down there 16th of September. Remember, book, get your tickets. The tickets are free, but you need your ticket to get in the door. You go to events on our website or events on your app, and you book a ticket, and you come join us. You want to grow that wealth quest, expand your empire? Maybe you've got people in KZN. Durban the 16th. We're going to do 2 sessions there, one at 10 o'clock in the morning, one at 1 p.m. training. Best day for you to get KZN up and running in your channel, no matter where you are. Free State, Eastern Cape, get to KZN on the 16th of this month. And then, folks, as wealth engineers, we want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's your #1 way of connecting people to us. It's free to subscribe, and you'll know every time we go live or add videos. And then we want you to download our free app. It's download it onto your phone, onto your tablet. It connects you straight into your channel in real time. Straight in real time. You can get all your tools there, all your training is there, and all your personal documentation and details are there. Make sure you have that app before you leave here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very serious about what we're doing here, and we get saddened when people want to criticize us. Why? Because we have tried so hard. The criticism generally does not come with solutions. It's emotional and subjective. Right now, as South Africans, we do not believe that there is another option. If there is, you'd all be doing it. I'd be doing it. But if we're going to start changing the South African economy, we have to get creative. We have to. We have to innovate, and we need to move into the 21st century. We want you to be wealth engineers with us. If tonight you decide to get one, or you want to become a wealth engineer but have got questions or concerns, no problem. Come and talk to the people who brought you here this evening, or come and talk to me or my staff. Get the answers to your questions. We had to ask the questions. I've given you the full rundown tonight. We had to ask the questions. Come and ask us. Do not leave here tonight with a misconception about what we're trying to do. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to see you all outside, and thanks for all of you around the country that have tuned in tonight.